Hey guys, Pup of Wall Street, and today I'm going to be teaching you how to invest in renewable energy. Now, renewable energy, I think, will be this huge sector in the next 20 years when large companies like ExxonMobil, Marathon Oil, and Chevron are hopefully exposed for all the bad they're doing to this world. They are causing global warming, any of these oil companies, really. And I think this is like a hedge against them. It's also like a hedge against global warming. So if you don't think oil will do well in the long term, this is what you should be investing in because it's an alternative to oil and that type of energy, natural gas. So if you want to start, the first thing you're going to need to do is open a brokerage account. I recommend Robinhood because it's easy to use, it's simple for new investors. Use my link in the description below, and all you have to do is sign up and you get one free stock completely for free. You don't have to pay any money. You don't need to deposit a certain amount of money. You just need to sign up. Now, you can deposit money if you want. You have to deposit at least $1, and you could start investing with $1 because they have what's called fractional shares. So you could put $1 into, say, Apple, Amazon, any of these big companies, or into one of these renewable energy companies. So first we're going to look at a stock that what they do is if you're going to want to buy solar panels to put on your roofs, you buy it from them. They distribute the solar panels to residential properties like your house. And their company name is Sunrun. Why I like them so much is because, well, first of all, they're acquiring another solar company, Vivint Solar. So that'll make them much larger. They also just passed Tesla as the largest distributor of solar panels to residential properties. So obviously Tesla's huge with their whole renewable energy thing, but they also don't specialize in it, which gave room for Sunrun to take over. Now Sunrun's larger than Tesla in the residential solar game, so that's why I love them so much. They already have such a big stake in this whole industry, and they don't give out dividend. They're primarily growth, and I like that about them. You want growth. You don't want to see dividends in renewable energy companies because that means they're not growing that much unless they're a really stable company with stable profit, like this next one I'm going to show you, NextEra Energy. They are a much larger company. They build the panels and these wind turbines. They build it and they have their own plants that they distribute the electricity to. So they're pretty different from Sunrun, but they still work with renewable energy and helping the environment, global warming, everything. They distribute the energy, not the solar panels or the wind turbines. They build them for themselves and distribute the energy that comes from them. You can see their chart looks a lot like Microsoft. You can really see the compound interest. They also give out a nice 2% dividend yield, which is above the S&P 500 average. What I love about them the most is that consistent growth, though. You can see they did get hit by the pandemic, like basically every company, but they have recovered, and they're just lower than all-time highs. So I think this is still a great time to buy if you're holding it long term. Reinvest those dividends, get as much of your money into this sector as you can. I think if you can hold it long term, if you have the patience, if you have the time, do it. Now, so you don't want to play this guessing game of what's going to be the next big renewable energy company, big solar company, wind energy. Say you just want to play it safe with an ETF. There are two ETFs that I recommend. Now, an ETF is exchange traded fund. It's just a basket of stocks that you get for one price. This one is Vanek Vector's Low Carbon Energy ETF. I love their ticker. It's SMOG, which is what comes up from pollution. The fog from pollution is called smog. So if we look, they're 5-year. They basically follow the renewable energy sector, which got hit pretty hard in 2008. They recovered. Then they've been falling ever since. But long term, I think this is a safe way to play it. While you might not be yielding as much returns as if you were to buy Tesla or stuff, or these individual companies that might do really well. It's less of a guessing game and more of a long term, maybe less profit game. But you have a higher chance of winning. Now, if we look at their holdings, they do have Tesla is one of their largest positions, which is another reason I really love them. Microchip Technology, Eaton Corporation, Amatec, Vestas Wind System, so you are getting into wind energy too. Cree Inc., Enphase Energy, these two have been doing really well lately. And Northland Power Incorporated. All of these companies I love, but obviously I don't love them as much as Sunrun and Nextera Energy. This makes up 65% of their total assets. Next one is TAN, Invesco's Solar ETF. You could see that they also follow the whole renewable energy market. Go to 5 years. They have been going up lately. I forgot to look at Smog's expense ratio. They have an expense ratio of 0.62, which is pretty high. Same with Invesco's, this is TAN, which is also pretty high. It's at 0.7%. The other one's 0.6%. So Smog does have a smaller expense ratio. Let's look at Invesco's holdings. See, most of it's in technology and utilities. You have Solar Edge Technology. You see Enphase. You can see Sunrun's down here. First Solar is also a good one. Canadian Solar. So you can see this doesn't have as big of a chunk in Tesla, but it has more smaller solar companies into it, so more small cap. Now we're going to look at one more. Alright, this is for the people who stayed throughout the video. This is probably the best long-term renewable energy investment that you can make. And you probably know what it is already. It's Tesla. Tesla is just overall great. I know a lot of people are thinking, oh, it's so overvalued right now. Obviously, it's going to be overvalued after that big run-up, after that EV hype. But I think they're so diversified within the whole industry. They're like an ETF for solar energy themselves. They have the electric car market. They have residential solar, renewable energy. They have all the They do batteries. They're creating these really efficient batteries that you could use for anything, not just cars. I think they could take over the whole aerospace industry. They could do anything. The sky's the limit for Tesla. Even though they might look overvalued now, I think they can be worth so much more money than they are right now. And I think they're a great long-term stock, even with their $1,400 price tag. If you use Robinhood, you can use my link in the description to get a free stock. You could just invest $1 into Tesla, but any amount, I think you could throw a bunch of money in here and wait long term, and it'll be worth more later. So thanks for watching. I'm not a financial advisor. This might not be the right purchase for you. These might not be the right tips for you. You have to do your own research. I'm just a kid on YouTube sharing some of his knowledge. And thanks for watching. Please consider liking and subscribing. And see you guys next time.